One of the most frustrating things in cooking is how to plan a meal that's meant for more than one on your own. It takes some skill to find ingredients and techniques that would make the recipe ideal for just one person, but it's something that you'll have to learn sooner or later if you don't have anyone else going hungry, no matter how much of the good stuff goes into those pans. There are many reasons why someone who used to cook for more than one might need to become wiser with their cooking habits when catering for only themselves. Maybe they're coming out of a long-term relationship or not living with family anymore, such as having moved abroad for work or study. If you're finding it difficult learning how to cut costs while still eating well, watch further. Cooking for one can sometimes seem more challenging than cooking for many because there seems to always be less food, which means it often gets wasted. While this is an unfortunate downside to cooking for one person, it makes sense that there are more cookbooks and websites dedicated to the act of cooking for just one person, in light of the ever-increasing rate at which people are either choosing or being forced to live alone for various reasons such as divorce or death. When cooking on your own, it adds an element of fun and excitement to finding a new cuisine to cook. Recognize this as a way to try out many types of cuisines and see what you may be missing by not having someone join you for dinner or lunch. You also have more room in the budget with yourself to spend on ingredients that go into your meal. If you do a quick search for cooking for one, you'll find that there are over 50,000 recipes and blogs out there about cooking for one person. However, if you don't want to spend hours sifting through all of the results, here is what you need to do. One important thing to remember is that when you're a chef of your own kitchen, it may make more economic sense to cook large amounts of food in bulk and then divvy up the portions into single serving sizes if and when necessary. This will save you time and ultimately money, as you won't have to go through the hassle of cooking every night. Another thing to keep in mind is that when cooking for one, if you prepare foods that are freezable, it may save more time and in the end money. If you cook the full recipe that most meals call for and freeze the leftovers in single-serving portions for a later point in time. This leaves you with a freezer full of food which will help you out when 1. You don't feel like cooking but hunger pains strike nonetheless. 2. You need to bring food to work or school. And 3. When everybody else is out at some kind of event so there's no one around to eat with. These days more and more cookbooks are published that make cooking for one fun. This is true whether you're a student, a businesswoman with lots of work on your plate, or simply don't have someone to share your meals with at the moment. The concept to cook less, dining out more, is one of the biggest trends right now, and no matter what situation placed you on a solo dining track, there's no good reason not to enjoy an amazing meal by yourself every once in a while. There's no harm without being social at least once in a while, and hey, you'll feel like celebrating even alone when you realize how sensational your culinary skills really are thanks to finding easy-to-follow recipes with lip-smacking images, knowing how to keep ingredients fresh. A great reminder is to eat what you want, when you want it. In fact, with food that's specially prepared for your consumption from a single source, like this video you're watching, there are no holds barred. So if dreaming about different types of food excites you and tickles your taste buds even when your tummy is full, go at it. After all, who doesn't feel alive after being served an amazing meal made just for them? Everyone has heard the saying, "You are what you eat," but maybe one day we'll realize how simply true it really was. People who eat fast and furious are indeed living life to their fullest. If you're not interested in investing heavily on cookbooks but would still like to try your hand at cooking, then it's worth checking out your local library. Among the stacks you might find a few books with excellent recipes and tips that are geared specifically toward preparing meals for oneself. Keep in mind that some libraries offer more than books. You might even find cooking classes at your local library. If that's not the case, don't panic, as it may still be possible to get your hands on some interesting food literature online. We also have a wealth of resources detailing tips and tricks for those who have already taken on the challenge of cooking for one or simply want to know more about preparing single-sized portions.